So many of you guys are moving to Orlando, and it's an amazing thing. Obviously, as a real estate agent, I appreciate you coming. But there's a lot of myths that I hear when I'm talking to people on the phone about the type of home that they think they're going to get and or things that they've heard about moving to Orlando. So today, we are going to debunk 6 myths about living in Orlando. Stay tuned. So the first myth that I hear when I'm talking to buyers moving to the area is that they have to have a pool home when they move here. So I'm actually going to do this live with you real quick. I'm going to look through here. Let's see how many houses are for sale let's see. All right, so we're going to do Orange County, Seminole County, Lake County, Osceola County, Polk County, and there are currently 3,872 homes for sale. That's all single-family homes. And of them, with private homes for sale, there's 1,172. All right, so let's figure out how many homes are actually pool homes versus not. So roughly 30% of all homes that are currently for sale in Orlando have a pool. Now, let's look at actually properties that are included in a neighborhood with an amenity like a pool. So let's put in available pools. Almost 2,000. So that means half of all homes actually have a pool within the neighborhood, but only a third of them, or a little less than a third, actually have their own private pool. The second myth that I hear quite often is that there's only theme park jobs in Orlando. Now, listen, Disney has over 70,000 cast members and Universal has over 35,000. And so there's quite a few theme park jobs here and companies that support the theme parks. But we actually did a whole video on this, on how diverse Orlando's economy is starting to become. We have a lot of jobs in IT and a lot of medical jobs. There are so many new hospitals and different things really leading the way in the whole healthcare industry. There's people from all over Florida that come to Orlando just for their healthcare. And so we have a big industry growing there. But one of the things I would say that if you have any kind of skilled trades at all, Orlando has a massive opportunity for you. If you are an electrician, a plumber, a framer, a roofer, or have any kind of building skills at all, Orlando is like wide open for you. There's so many people that need skilled trades. The building industry, the resale industry. If you are an entrepreneur and or you have some of these skills, you have a big opportunity here in Orlando. Thing that I hear quite a bit about is that the Orlando real estate market, or that Florida in general, has really cheap real estate. Now listen, over the past 2 years, there's been people flocking here from all over the country. But even before that, Orlando had become more of a destination town for people to buy second homes in and relocate for higher paying jobs. And so now average sales price in, like, say, Orange County, which is where the city of Orlando is located, prices are pushing an average of $600,000 for a single family residence. Now, there's plenty of areas that you can buy homes that are even cheaper than that in Polk County, Lake County, some of the areas a little bit farther out from the main core. But the average real estate price here is continuing to climb. And so if you think you're going to steal something, maybe not. If you're comparing it to LA, New York, DC, Miami, for sure. But don't think that you're going to be able to get a pool home on an acre for $300,000, which is a call that I had earlier this week. Myth number 4 would be that everywhere you look, there are Airbnbs. Now, here's the deal. Down in like Davenport, Reunion, West Kissimmee, some other areas down a little bit farther south, there are plenty of Airbnbs. There's actually neighborhoods that are specifically only for short-term rentals. But the city of Orlando and many of the suburb areas actually strictly prohibit doing an Airbnb. Unless it's like, say, the city of Orlando. They have a rule that you can Airbnb out 1/3 of your bedrooms. You have to live there and then like Airbnb out like your garage apartment apartment or something like that. Those are actually doable. But for the most part in the suburbs, you do not have Airbnbs just running rampant. And so the cool thing is it does promote more of a sense of community in those areas where you have people that are living there full time, that send their kids to the schools and that sort of thing. And so just because you are in a tourist destination, one of the biggest in the world, doesn't mean that everywhere you look is going to be an Airbnb. All right, another myth that I hear a lot about is our weather, the sunshine state, right? Which is kind of funny because we're not actually the sunniest state in the country, but we are one of the more consistently warm states in the country. And so here's the deal. 233 days out of the year, we have sun. That's what we had in 2020. There were 100 days, a little over 100 days where we actually had rain. And so many days you'll see on the calendar, especially if you're getting ready to visit for a home shopping trip or maybe just a vacation, you'll see like the whole week is filled with rain, but usually that just means that we have 15, 20 minutes of rain, flash rain, back to sun, and that sort of thing. So don't think that just because we are the sunshine state that it's sunny every single day. We do have tornadoes, we do have hurricanes, we do have weather events, those sort of things. The beautiful thing about living in Orlando, though, is we don't have as big of a hurricane issue as, say, living on the coast one way or the other. We're about an hour in at least, depending on where you're at in Orlando. And so we have a little bit of land protection. But again, those events still affect us because of rain and wind and things like that. Behind every myth is a kernel of truth, usually. And number 6 is really that people talk about how we have really poor quality construction of our homes here. That homes that were built in Boston, they're 150 years old, are better quality construction than what we have in new construction here. Well, listen, I wouldn't say that every decade over the past 50 years has been super kind here in Florida, but I will say that the quality of construction has consistently gotten better ever since I've lived here. The counties are now upgrading how the sort of minimum standards that builders need to offer homeowners to basically keep things going in the right direction in terms of quality. Now, there are some places in, homes that were built in the 90s that have single pane windows and were frame construction all the way up and, poor stucco issues and things like that. Those are things that you want to pay attention to. And so if you've come down here and you're automatically assuming that you're going to have sort of a bad experience in terms of quality of construction, that may be true, but I will tell you that we have some remarkable custom home builders here that are just building amazing homes. And they're even production home builders that are building remarkable homes. You just have to be really careful on the home that you buy, the location you buy it, and hiring somebody that actually knows the difference is going to make a world of difference in your home shopping experience. So that's 6 myths that I hear on a weekly basis from clients that reach out that are looking to buy a home here in Orlando. And so listen, if you didn't see one of yours covered, make sure you comment below. I'm trying to figure out, what are you thinking? A lot of people relocating here for work and they have these kind of misconceptions in their mind already before they even get here. And so I want to hear from you guys. What are some things you're thinking about, the positives, the pros, the cons about moving to Orlando? We want to know about it. And as always, if you got some value out of this, make sure you hit the subscribe button as we're putting out new content multiple times a week about life here in Orlando. And then last thing, if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, my real estate team and I, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. So reach out at info@pozekgroup.com and we'll see you guys on the next video.